tickets here?
Yep.
All right, thank you for that. And if I were to say the password, which is Matter Day, you would say?
That's the way, or all the way, or very close to that.
That's pretty close.
Yeah,
Welcome to Matter Day.
Thank you.
And it rhymes with that. That's the start of it. Password.
Shoot. It's gonna be a tough one.
If I say Matter Day?
It's the only way.
All right, perfect. Yes, this guy came prepared. I say Matter Day, you say way. Matter Day? You know the password?
Yeah, it's the only way.
It's the way.
Close enough. It's the only way.
It's the only way. That's
Yes.
it.
We'll let you in
That's
there.
what I meant. All right.
Watch
thank
your head.
you.
Don't bump it. Play some pool.
All right.
You know the deal.
Thank
been
you.
here.
Yeah? Are we feeling good? That's what I like to hear, see? Welcome to the 22 Gala. The Knights of Columbus was founded in 1882 by Father Michael J. McGivney, who died 125 years ago yesterday. That's right. He's up for sainthood. The first Knights of Columbus Council was formed in 1882 in New Haven, Connecticut, and today there are over 16,000 Knights of Columbus Councils worldwide. This, as I said earlier, is the first in Indiana.
It originally started with a mansion that was connected, which is now our parking lot, but unfortunately got torn down in the 60s.
When the mansion, which was next door, it was also a living quarters for gentlemen. Upstairs, we had, some people lived here. In the dining room, we had a full dining room, and it was staffed almost entirely by students, who were a lot of which were from the chiropractic school. We had a dormitory on the third and fourth floor, and they lived here, and they worked here, and they went to school at the chiropractic school. Now, the reason that this large portion of the building was built, my grandfather was the chairman of the committee that built it. It was built as a gymnasium for Cathedral High School. The first basketball games that I ever saw, I saw from the balcony of this building.
Every Friday night there was somebody downstairs played the piano and we sang and so forth, and our kids would come down here and play pool. And I had the best pool shooting daughters in town. Down in the downstairs in the bar, they had a little lunchroom, and they served lunch every afternoon, sandwiches, soup, stuff like that.
We went through some tough times. I mean, when bingo was struggling down here, that was our main financial down here. So when bingo started to falter, it started affecting the Knights of Columbus in general, because it's an old building, and you have to keep maintenance up on it, so it was a struggle. So there was a core of guys that were not going to let this building go away, because there was just too much to lose in my eyes. And that's what kept it alive, is the history. Nobody wanted to lose that history here. And I think that energy brought in some of these other younger guys from St. John's, and Robert was one of them, and it kind of transformed into them, and they just went with it and kind of enhanced it more than what we could, because there was times when we didn't think we'd be able to keep the building open, and it was a lot of struggle.
We owe much to the men who have founded this great, grand organization and have stood by us firmly in our times of adversity and prosperity. Day and night, they have planned and toiled that someone might eventually enjoy what we have now. Our wonderful clubhouse was once a dream and now a realization. They have worked and labored for you and I. Their noble efforts and kind words are still given in a charitable way, such as members of Knights of Columbus always gives. Their thoughts have always been tempered with true Christian charity. Their success has been ours, our success has been theirs. They are the strongest link in our chain of fraternity, and we owe them much more than we ever repay. Here's to all the past, present, and future members.
I've been a member since 1978, so I joined when I was 18, so 37 years later.
I joined in the early 80s.
I've been a member here 4 years. I am the Grand Knight of the Modern Day Council, 437. It's been great. You know, I knew what I was expecting when I, stepped in, and, I know there's a lot of work that comes along with it, and I'm up for the challenge. Everything here is the best for me. Becoming a member is always a plus, you get out of it what you put into it. And I would love to see this building, grow, and I'd like to see a lot of updates, restore this place. It's got a lot of history, the building, the woodwork, it's all great. You get that old feeling when you walk in.
I just became a convert Catholic about 6 years ago. A friend of mine told me about the Knights, brought me down. I came a couple of times, and I decided that was the way that I could give something back to the community and do charitable work at the same time.
I can't express enough. Charity is our number one goal around here.
So the key principles are charity, fraternity, unity, and patriotism. So basically anything that has to do with that. So we stand in unity with our priests. We give charitably any way that we can. We stand with our country.
And they had lots of charitable endeavors. They had a beautiful Christmas party for underprivileged children at Christmas time. They had Santa Claus and gave little kids lovely presents and everything. They did. They always supported the inner city soup kitchens and things like that with volunteer. And of course, their main and large charity, which still exists today, is Jiba Home in Terre Haute.
So the legacy lives on. This building, ladies and gentlemen, it's so special to so many people.
I actually got married down here. We did. We were married, and everything seems to happen down here for us because we've had so many events down here. We've had birthday parties. We've had
Dad's 70th birthday.
Her dad's 70th birthday.
Sophia's
seems like any family event, we seem to. This is the perfect place to have it.
You know what? For me, it's a family place. My father brought me here when I was a little girl. When I first started my profession as a teacher, I helped him run a speech contest down here for K-12 schools. So they would enter, and I ran all that because I was a teacher at the time. So as a little girl, I was here all the time. And even greater than that, we did all the picnics, we got involved. But this is where I met my husband. So we actually came back from something, and he was down here. I had been working, and then we went out together, and then we ended up getting married. So it is a big family piece.
Preston and Rachel, I want to talk about them for a moment. They actually had their wedding reception in this building a few months ago. Yeah, that deserves claps.
We really like the building. The swing dance organization we work with has had dances here, and our annual workshop is having a really big dance over Labor Day weekend here.
Yeah, so ladies, it's easy to remember because the lady's always right and we're not, so we don't start on the right foot.
If you're invited to a dance, you dance.
Thanks, folks. We are the Annapolis Jazz Orchestra. Have a good time. You having a good time tonight?
This is my second gala. I've been around for a little while. So we started with a dance a few years ago for it was 1960 dance, and we decided to have a grand opening party last year with the Gatsby Gala, and then this year we just kind of settled on the 22 Gala.
Allison had told me about the gala, but I didn't know that it was by the Knights of Columbus or anything, or who the Knights of Columbus were. So you kind of introduced that, and yeah, tonight's been a lot of fun. Good swing dancing, great music, and just getting to meet new people and talk with people. So yeah, it's been fun.
It's a great turnout this year. Last year we had more of a younger crowd. This year it's more of a mixed with the older crowd and the younger crowd.
Last year I think it was a real thrill, and it had the excitement of being the first time, and it was a real big crowd. But there's little things to improve on. But we still had a great time last year. But this year he's kind of made a little improvements in it, and I think it's even better this year.
Oh yeah.
I think Robert's done an excellent job. He's worked his butt off to do it.
Oh yeah.
So far
it seems pretty cool.
No, I was here last year, and I really thought it was so much fun last year, and I've been trying to promote it this year because I think it's a great idea. The 20s era. My parents grew up in the 20s era, and they grew up in Philadelphia, so they always used to tell me stories about the speakeasies and the rum runners that got the rum off the boat on the Atlantic City beaches and growing them up, and had pictures of my mom in flappers outfits and so forth. So yeah, so I think it was I'm sure every era becomes more romantic with the telling. But I think I think this is a great theme. I hope they keep it up.
No, we came last year.
You came last year. How'd you
Oh,
feel
it was fun.
Are you liking this one so far?
Oh yes.
You know, this one was kind of a little bit easier to put together. We had a couple of years under our belt. We had, grown a little bit in some reputation throughout the community, and a lot of people just kind of jumped in and was able to join in and help out.
What a neat event to have a 20s theme and everyone's dressed up in
You really like the 20s
flappers
theme?
costumes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is this your first gala?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
How are you liking it so far?
I'll be back next year.
No? Awesome.
Yeah, they've improved.
But yeah, this year it's really been kind of fun. What's really cool is the experience coming in.
I'm Robert Newport, the Deputy Grand Knight of the Council and Building Manager.
I think at some point when talking to Robert, we have both mentioned to him that we want the former part of the building to resurrect itself and
the mansion to actually come back.
Yeah.
He wishes it to become what it was before, which would be awesome, and with just life and people here all the time and vigor that it used to have.
But it was very busy and very, very well attended.
This particular council, I would like to see us out in the community more. I would like to see the younger group coming together and, rebuilding our council. I mean, we have a lot of older gentlemen, that built this council, and now it's time to get the younger group in here and start building them up.
Really, this is probably our banner year since it's gone down from bingo. This year is probably the best year we've had since that time. So probably a good 10 years that it's really starting to come alive. So many events down here. A lot of Catholic events are going on down here. So it's amazing to watch. And a lot of credit goes to a lot of the guys, even before I was here, that kept it going. They worked with the bingo and they did the best they could. And then, it just never took off. Eventually the casinos opened and the bingo crowd went down. Well, then we knew that we had to do something different. We couldn't go down that road. And so there was a core of guys that stuck with it, put us in position to be successful. And then now Robert and a lot of other guys, James, and I mean, there's a number of guys that have really helped out to keep it going, and then it seems to be picking up and getting better every year.
Well, the world is changing, but the needs in the world don't change. And so I see that how these men can help the future may be very, very different, but it still needs help. And I think the downtown area, there's a lot of young people moving in. I think they need a place where they can come together, share their ideas, and help the future, because I think there's a lot. One of the things that bothers me is that I know the world my grandparents gave me and the world my parents gave me, and I don't feel like I'm giving that good a world to my grandchildren. And so I'm hoping that an organization like Knights of Columbus might do that.
We'd really like to see them come back up. If you had the chance, would you want to learn a little bit more?
Yes, I would.
It's like, wow, really? Yeah, I felt the same way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's just from the little bit that we've walked, the 2 rooms that we've been in, it looks like a really interesting building. It'd be cool to see what else is going on here.
Oh, definitely, and that's what I like about Robert. Robert is probably the lead on digging through, and actually, for the time I've been here, I've never met anybody that had that drive to find out about the history. And the more he pulls up, the more interesting it is, and the more energy I think it feeds into keeping this place alive and active like it is tonight.
The next one's gonna be a wild one. Yeah, we're gonna bring disco back.
There you go.
There you go.